So what defense are we in? Then I come out and I'm looking at the offense. What are they in? What formation are they in? What personnel grouping are they in? And then what do I need to do to get my job done inside of our call?
Okay.
It all happens in said break.
Rob, with defensive back, there's not one static stance, but there are some postural elements that are universal. So let's talk about press coverage.
You want to be comfortable. So if your feet, for me, I was a little bit outside my shoulders.
Okay.
All right. You want to make sure you're not head up.
Okay.
So you're going to be shaded one way or the other. It's
All
going
right.
to be either inside eye or outside eye.
Okay,
That's
so
your shades.
That's your leverage you're trying to
That's your
establish?
leverage.
Okay.
That's your leverage to the receiver, to
All
the
right.
quarter. All right. So, and once you do that, you just want to be athletic. So let's think of about playing basketball.
Okay.
If you're a basketball player and you're defending somebody, are you like this?
No.
No.
I hope
Are
not.
you like this?
No.
No. So you're athletic. So you're like this. So your weight is on the balls of your feet. So as a corner, I'm gonna be athletic. So I'm gonna be slight knee bend, athletic. I'm outside shade.
Okay.
I'm gonna funnel you back into the linebacker or safety. I'm athletic. I'm not gonna be too far down, not too far up. I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be looking right in the middle of your numbers. I'm gonna have my hands ready to shoot just like a boxer.
Right.
All right. Boxer put his hands down, what happens?
Gets punched in the
He
mouth.
gets punched
Right.
in the mouth. Right. So we don't want to get punched in the mouth by the receiver, because sometimes receivers try to do that to you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure I'm athletic, and my hands and feet, this is the key. Your hands and feet work together.
Okay.
All right. So I don't want to, as you release, I don't want to shoot my hands
And leave your feet.
Leave my feet.
Okay.
That's
What
a negative.
happens? If
You're
that
going to get
does
ran
happen,
by.
ran by.
You're going to get ran by,
All right.
and then you're going to sit on the bench.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
And you don't want to move your feet as he's coming to you and never really ever shoot your hands.
Why is that?
All right? Because offense lives in time.
Okay.
Defense, we don't live in time. So if I'm pressing, I'm looking at the inside, looking at your number, right in the middle of your numbers, right? So here's the ball, that's the neutral zone. Normally I tell guys, don't crowd the line of scrimmage, because if you crowd the line of scrimmage and he gives you one little move, he's by you.
I'm gone.
But if here's the ball, here's the neutral zone again. If I'm a half a yard away from it, see now I got a little room. I got a little working room. Now he has to work his way to me. Remember, he still has to run his route.
Right.
He has to run his route in the time frame of what the offense has before the pass rush gets here. So the pass rush and my coverage are going to work together.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I'm right here, and then if he has 3 releases, he has a tight release. So if he releases right to me, because some of those big releases like a Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Well, Fitz likes to, he can control a defender sometimes. He can get into the defender and throw him away. If it's a tight release and he comes right to me, I can get both my hands on him, right? I can get both my hands, I'm moving my feet. I want to stay in front of him at all times. Stay on top, top
Stay
down.
on top.
All right. If it's the second release, which is a wide release, is a little bit wider. So I'm gonna open up 45, but I'm gonna punch opposite hand. If it's a speed release,
Okay.
which if he doesn't want me to touch him, I can't touch him.
Got it.
He's gonna release before I don't get my hands on him.
Are you gonna chase me?
I'm not gonna chase. So he's gonna speed release. I'm gonna cut him off 45, because at the end of the day, he wants to come up here anyway.
So you're gonna meet me at my spot?
I'm gonna meet you at your spot with angles.
Okay. Is the head gonna be up or down in press?
It's gonna be looking right at the shoulders, right in the
Okay.
middle, right in the middle of the numbers.
All right.
Just like this. I got my hands ready to use them, all right? And depending on how he releases. Now I also look at the split of the receivers.
Okay.
If it's a wide split, so say this receiver is 8 yards from the sideline, I'm gonna play inside shade.
Why is that? Explain that to me.
If he's 8 yards from the sideline, what routes can he run?
Really can't go anywhere but inside, right?
Well, he's gonna try to come inside,
Okay.
but I'm inside now.
Oh, you're taking it away
Now,
from me.
I'm taking it away from him. Now, if he releases outside, he only can run 2 routes.
Okay.
He can run a go and a stop. He can't run all the routes.
You minimize the options.
You minimize the option, and in your mind as a defender, I'm not trying to cover every single route, every single play.
Huh. So what you're trying to do is dictate by your stance what I can or can't do.
By my position of my body,
Right.
or where I'm at, to make the throws harder for the quarterback to the receiver.
What about the shoulders? I see with you, you got wide, broad shoulders, but your shoulders aren't slumped over. What are you doing with the shoulders?
You don't want to be all down like this, because now your arms are down.
Okay. What's the problem with that? What's wrong with that? Some guys do it.
Some guys do it.
Looks
but,
good.
But think about it. Think about all leverages. What's the fastest leverage? A long leverage or a short leverage?
Okay.
Short
Makes sense.
leverage.
Right.
A short leverage is faster. So if I want to get to you faster,
You can't be asking me the trick questions, man.
if I want to get to you faster, I got to make sure my hands are ready. And my hands can't be ready like this.
Okay.
Because when my shoulders are lax, that's where my arms are going to be.
Okay.
And you see throughout the, high school, throughout college, throughout the pros, where guys might even have their hands here and then they drop them as soon as the ball snaps. Instead of being ready to use the hands.
Right.
Ready to fire the hands.
So what about the shoulders? So we're pulling the shoulder blades back? Are we focusing on that? Or just letting them just kind of sit in a very
I'm
natural,
not. Yeah, I want to be
position?
natural.
Okay.
I don't want to be like this, because that's not a natural thing.
Right.
I mean, it looks great.
Looks
It's
great,
a
yeah.
Great posture,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'd be great in football. So I just think it's really natural just to be just like this, getting ready to use your hands. Always paying attention to here, whatever position you're in, inside shade or outside shade.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play off of what you do. So if you're dancing at the line of scrimmage, that means you're trying to get to me, I'm going to back up a little bit. Now your timing is being thrown a little bit.
Because I'm dancing.
Because he's dancing, because normally what receivers do when they start dancing, they want you to shoot a hand. And once you shoot that hand,
You gotta be disciplined.
you gotta be disciplined. So the biggest thing is, as long as I stay in front of you, and if you wanna try to if you wanna release, and if you try to get away from me and you keep rounding it off, now what's happening to your timing?
Timing off.
The timing's off.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't touch you physically,
Right.
I disrupt the timing because of my body position.
And then what happened is they jammed Thomas. It was on the crossing route, which kind of disrupted the timing of the play.
If we're playing off now,
So now we're playing off. We got a little bit more space, so the timing is gonna be different. What changes for you?
the main thing is my stance is going to be different. So
Okay.
when I'm pressed, my feet are parallel, right?
All right.
Now when I'm off, my outside leg, so if I'm a right corner, my right leg is up,
Okay.
the outside leg is up, my inside leg is back. So I can still see the quarterback a little bit, right? I still can see the quarterback. My position is still going to be the same. So I'm going to still take an inside shade or an outside shade depending on your split.
Okay.
All right. Some guys teach when they're off. So think that we're about 8 yards off.
All right.
All right. So we're about 8 yards off. Some guys teach to scooch. All right. I don't.
Okay.
I teach
Why is
to
that?
go. The reason I don't is that when you scooch and then you take your steps, you can't mirror the 3-step. So I want to get to everything.
Okay.
I want to be close to all my routes. So my first step is I'm still athletic. I'm on the balls of my feet. My first movement is with my outside foot. So this is one.
That outside foot's moving first.
Outside
Okay.
foot's moving first, not my back foot. Most
Right.
people move the back foot first.
Right.
So it's 1, 2, 3. This is the third step. This is a slant. I can break here,
Okay.
right? I can break. But if you go here, 1, 2, 3, I can't break.
And now you need a
I got to
fourth.
step again.
Yeah.
And then I got to break. Now football is about inches.
Right.
So everything you can do to minimize those inches. How many times have you seen DBs, linebackers, defensive linemen jump and they just miss
miss
the
it.
ball?
Yeah.
That's because they're inefficient with something.
Right.
So as long as you don't, I always teach to make sure that you can mirror things because there's the break points. There's 3 different break points. So you got a 3-step. You got the 10 to 12 yard break point, which is like curls and whatnot. And then you got the 15 to 18 yard, which is digs and comebacks.
Okay.
There's only 3 break points. That's all they got.
That's it.
They don't break anywhere else. Now, scrambles and plasters, that's different, right? But so in your mind, you got to understand where those fit with you.
Right.
So if we're off, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to start with the outside foot, right? Outside foot up. I'm going to mirror you. And you got to understand, your goal is to break my cushion.
I'm trying to close
Receivers.
space.
You're trying to close it as fast as I can because you're trying to open me up.
Okay.
So you're trying to get me to do this, so you break.
Right.
And now
You're beat.
A lot of times I'm beat.
Yeah.
Right? So what I always tell DBs, if you can get to about 18, if you can give me 6 steps in your back pedal, and your first 3 is kind of like a walk pedal. Even though you're not walking, but it's like a tempo. So I'm here, like that.
Then you roll into it.
And then I roll into it. So I'm going through my 3 steps. So I'm here, 1, 2. If I want to go 3, I'm gonna go here.
So that third one, it sounds like you're reestablishing a position where you can drive through it.
I can drive through the slant.
Okay.
Slant, hitches, stuff of that nature.
Right.
Right. And then once I get through the 3, 1, 2, 3, now I start tempo. So it's
Into
a
your
little,
back pedal.
little faster.
Right.
But now I'm going, if I go 3 more steps, I'm at 15.
Okay.
I'm at 15 yards already. That's the last break point.
Now let's talk about the back pedal.
Yeah.
You mentioned the scooch technique, but I believe that the back pedal has become a lost art.
It has.
Why do you believe so heavily in the back pedal? And then let's talk about how to effectively teach it.
I'm playing out like this, right? So I have inside position. I can see everything inside. But the probabilities of me making a play, if you run anything out here,
Trouble.
are
It's
slim to
hard,
none.
yeah.
I might make 1 out of 15 plays. That's not a good percentage.
good, no.
Right? But when you break anything inside here, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right? Or vice versa, because you'll see guys do the same thing when they play inside. They'll play with the back to their whole defense. They don't see anything. So they got a outside position.
Right.
Right? And all they're looking at is the player. And if he runs anything outside, he's good.
So what the back pedal does is it gives you options as a defender.
It gives you can play both ways.
Both ways.
Like a rule of thumb about backpedaling, you want to kind of cut your grass. So nowadays you got these
like
electric
that. Say it again.
mowers.
Cut the grass?
Cut your
Okay.
grass with the feet. So it's like you can hear. You just
Okay.
want to slip the top of the grass blades. That's all you want to hear. When you start getting like, when you start backpedaling, you start seeing guys like this. That's absolutely wrong.
They're rolling over.
Because you're not even athletic.
Right.
I mean, how do you get out of that?
Huh?
I don't even know how I couldn't even coach a guy to get out of that.
Correct.
You know, I'm
Correct.
just like, okay, well, you got yourself in that position, you got to get yourself out.
Let's talk about visual targets. What are you doing with your eyes, and how can your eyes help you decipher what's going on?
Where there's 2 eyes, there's man eyes and there's zone eyes. There's only 2 eyes.
Okay.
I mean, you got 2, there's only 2 set of rules. all
Man
right?
eyes and zone eyes.
Man eyes and zone
Talk
eyes.
about man eyes first.
Man eyes first. So let's say we're playing off.
Okay.
All right, I'm playing off, and as we backpedal, I'm backpedaling, and you run out.
Okay. Going
As
here.
you're running out, as I drive to you, I have to drive to you first. My eyes have to go to you first. Quarterback ain't throwing the ball to me,
Okay.
right? He's throwing the ball to you. So I have to drive you first, which I have to drive to your upfield shoulder. Your upfield shoulder is the shoulder that's furthest from the sideline, but further up the field,
Okay.
right? I'm driving to the upfield shoulder because if you run a double move, which way you got to go? That way.
Back that way.
Which is that shoulder.
Right.
So when you run it out, I'm gonna drive you first. As soon as I start driving you, now I can look back for the ball. Now, if a quarterback, the real great quarterbacks, they throw the ball to the sideline. You can't get that. You make the tackle. Maybe if you break early, you get a breakup.
Okay.
And every now and then, those Tom Brady's and Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Mannings and John Elways and Dan Marinos, they'll throw that one right back here. And when they throw that one right back here, you're like,
You there.
holla.
Right,
I'm
right,
gone.
right.
So you have fun with that.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about zone eyes now.
Okay,
Like
so-
how do the eyes apply to zone?
So man eyes is, we are looking just at the man, right? Even though, and we got to turn our eyes to the man on his breaks, and then we can go to the ball
Okay.
or to the quarterback. Zone eyes is similar in a sense, but the one thing about zone eyes, the more I can see, the more it helps me.
Okay.
Because I know, okay, say I'm an outside 1/3 player, I'm a deep corner, outside 1/3. I know I got anything deepest of my deepest, right? I can't let nobody get behind me. But everything else I can see helps me.
Okay.
All right? So first you're gonna learn the formation, see what they like to run. And as I'm turning, I'm still looking to see where you're going. If you're running a go, I gotta be on top of you.
Okay.
If you run a comeback, a 15-yard comeback, 18-yard comeback, and nobody else is in my lane, nobody else is over here, what's like being man?
Right.
Now I gotta break and drive, I gotta break to you first, right? Eyes to you first,
Okay.
just in case.
Still shoulder, upfield
Still
shoulder.
upfield shoulder.
Okay.
That's a fundamental philosophy in man or zone.
Fundamental.
Fundamental.
What
Always
about-
upfield shoulder.
Let's talk about the hands now. A lot of times with young athletes, they get a bit handsy, and oftentimes they push the opponent open. How are we using our hands? So I'm covering you, and all of a
Right.
sudden you start going. I end up pushing you to where you're trying to go because I'm trying to be physical with my hands. Because
As a
coach,
receiver.
yeah. Well, as a corner or DB, the coach is saying be physical, be physical, be physical. And what I end up doing is being physical with my hands, but I end up pushing you in the direction you want to go. How should young athletes use their hands?
Well, I mean, so most of the time, or I can say all the time, getting a jam. So if you quick jam and you're trying to disrupt the timing, right? he's eventually going to get off of it. Every now and then you see a guy get jammed, he's never getting off the line of scrimmage. Okay. But mostly, you're shooting your hands. So say you release inside. When I'm hitting you here, right?
Okay.
But your momentum is taking my arm, which is taking the rest of my body, and pushing me on top of you.
Okay. All right.
So it's keeping me there and it's slowing you down.
Okay.
But it's keeping me in the right position. Every now and then, you see guys who will quick jam, lose it, and then they try to grab.
Okay.
Which I call panic. You can't panic.
Panic? Okay.
You can't panic.
All right.
That's what. So as a DB, as a corner, you got four areas where you can win. You can win at the line of scrimmage, all right? And let's say he beats me here. And now he's on a climb. I can, if I'm faster than you as a DB, I can catch back up to you in the climb or the route. So I got another opportunity to win.
Okay.
If I don't catch you there, and say you run a curl, now if I'm underneath you and you run a curl, now I got another opportunity right here on your break to win. Then that quarterback has to throw the ball. If he throws the ball to you and it's high, now I got another opportunity to win.
Okay.
So I got 4 opportunities in a time frame of 1 play to win my down.
So the key is not to panic.
Not to panic.
So you can't panic, so you got to be patient and disciplined.
Right.
And recognize those 4 opportunities.
Right.
So sometimes you get beat, and now I'll stack you. What are you doing now? You panic yet?
No, you still got the 2 opportunities. So
Okay.
he beat me off the line. He stacked me, which you never want to be, and that's sin.
It's a cardinal sin.
That's a cardinal sin. You cannot get to this point. But you still got 2 more opportunities. Okay, so they say it's a go ball. And it's a go ball, so he got me here. I can't beat you on the climb, right? Because on your route, because you're running the go, but you still got that 1 throw.
Right.
And as he's throwing it, I can slap it out. And if I don't slap it out, say you start bringing it back in, I can go to the ground with you. And as a receiver, what do you got to do? You got to maintain that ball all the way through. So if the ball even moves, touches the ground, incomplete.
Right.
So I got the opportunities to make plays. As again, we say you can't panic. You can't. You just can't.
Sometimes in the contact phase, the best defense is just not to let a guy get into their route. So let's talk about jamming wide receivers. How do you effectively jam a wide receiver?
So we mentioned earlier about there's 3 releases. There's a tight release where those big receivers like to get into, like DeAndre Hopkins right now in the league. DeAndre is a physical receiver. So he likes to get into the DBs and he likes to grab them and throw them. It was kind of like Chris Carter.
Yeah.
Chris was that way. Chris would grab my shoulder pads and my shirt would be all
Big 10
up
guy.
there.
Physical.
Physical.
Buckeye.
Physical.
Yeah.
Buckeye. All right. So you got the tight release. So if he tight releases and he comes right to me, I can get both my hands on you. I can stay square, get both my hands on you, as long as I get past the 5 in the pros. And I can stay on you in high school and college, all the way until the ball is thrown.
Right.
So I can beat you up all the way down the field. So the rules that you can use, you use them. Okay. All right. And then if it's a wide release where he just goes out here, now I can't get my hands on you. I'm not going to chase you. But if he's there, and if you come a little bit closer, I can one-hand jam you. But I'm still 45 uphill shoulder. And then the hardest one is the speed release. So if they don't want you to touch them, you're not gonna touch them.
Okay.
So they'll speed release. I can't chase you, but I can cut you off with angles. The further we play away from the ball, the better angles you gotta have. So I gotta cut you off with angles. I'm 45 you're gonna meet me here. I can't touch you past 5, but I can kind of run into you.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit,
Okay.
right? I can kind of run into you, and then on top of that, I always want to be here anyway. Because where's the quarterback throwing the ball? He's throwing the ball to the outside upfield shoulder. Say you're running a go. And if you playing on the low hip, that's an easy catch for you.
Good, right.
But if I'm right here, nah, not so easy.
Tough. Let's talk about tackling. That's the big thing nowadays in terms of removing unnecessary risk from the game.
So we know there's new rules, right, in place. So you can't hit above the numbers. Can't hit above the numbers. All right, you can really hit almost anywhere else.
Right.
All right, me personally, I never really like taking guys' knees out. So I'm gonna hit them somewhere around here in this low side. Now, one thing I did enjoy while I was coaching with the Oakland Raiders, that we went to rugby tackling. It's a little different. It kind of messes you up when you first do it as a tackler. But now we go from this near side hip to what we call run and gather. So you gather and you're coming back this way. So now my near side hip is truly my near side hip.
Okay.
It's not the one that's running up the field, it's this one. And now when you duck your head and I make my tackle,
You're driving the shoulder.
I'm driving my shoulder into you, but my head's back here.
Okay.
And the one thing that it really does is that now, say if you want to plant your foot and try to come back across my face, my whole body's here. You can't come back across.
Right.
I got the 3W rules.
Let me hear them.
What are they in, or what are we in?
Okay.
So what defense are we in? Then I come out and I'm looking at the offense. What are they in? What formation are they in? What personnel grouping are they in? And then what do I need to do to get my job done inside of our call?
Okay.
It all happens in said break, and we're all going back like this.
Yeah.
We're all looking, it's happening all right now. 5-4, he's getting ready to snap it, and I know what to do.
Okay.
So the players who understand that at a higher level, because he knows the backer has to buzz out here, I fit right in here. He knows his job. He knows what he can give up and what he can't give up. So the more knowledge you know about the game, I think the better it makes you, the faster it makes you play, because hesitation
Gets you beat.
kills you in sports.